Maybe within a second. Yes, we are in live now.
Yeah. Hello.
Yeah.
Good afternoon, everyone. Do you want to do the introductions, Nasser?
Yes, so I will give our introduction first, then I will request you to share your presentation with us. Hello, everybody. Good morning or good afternoon, based on your location and who is watching us now and will be watching later. We have very exciting presentation for you today because I think this is probably one of the biggest platform for international student to know their information about the university, which is offering 19 UK universities. So under one umbrella, you are getting all the universities information, especially for your foundation and for the pre-masters. So we have Dan from study group. He is working for the study group as a partner sales executive, looking for the UK. And we are delighted to have him here for the IELTS education. And he will be sharing his presentation with us today, especially for South Asian student, their requirement, entry requirement, criteria, scholarship, and the courses available, especially the famous course available for international students, especially for the South Asian students. And lately, they got a new university with them, which is Tside University, which is also very famous in Bangladesh. So we will have also a specific discussion on Tside University. And after Dan's presentation, we will go to Q&A. So before handing over to the Dan, myself, Nasser from IELTS Education, and I have my colleague Shurab also. He's working for IELTS Education Bangladesh as a head of operation. Hi, Shurab.
Thank you so much.
And student who is watching now, please share this recording with your friends or family and stay with us until the end, so you will get your question answered. And at the end of the session, obviously, we will ask your towards the end, we will ask, give your question take your question and give you the answers. Okay. So without any further delay, Haydn, please, you can share your presentation and you can carry on.
Lovely. Thanks ever so much for the introduction, Nasser. And good afternoon and good morning, everybody, wherever you are. So as Nasser so kindly said, my name's Dan. I'm from Study Group. So for those of you who don't know, Study Group is one of the largest, well, probably the largest pathway provider in the world. We every year send over 70,000 applications from 12,000 students to over 36 global locations with students from 171 countries. So we're pretty good at what we do. So what I'm going to do for today is just to share a few slides to give you a little bit of an information about who Study Group are, and then we can take some questions and answers, and I'll explain a little bit more. So just bear with me 2 seconds. I've just got to rely on our technology now. So I'll explain a little bit about, go through some questions and answers, and then I will hand you back to Nasser. So I won't take too much of your time. So if you can just bear with me 2 seconds while I try and load up my presentation. Okay. Let's try this again. Right, wonderful. So let's just go back and do this. Excellent. Right, wonderful. So you should all be able to see my screen. So accept my apologies for the slight little delay there. So welcome to Study Group. So what we are is a pathway provider, and we specialise in foundation, international year 1 and pre-masters. I'm going to go through a little bit of that shortly. So as you probably know, a UK or an English speaking European education will give you a competitive edge in any career. Study Group provides you with the broadest choice of programs that are specially designed to help you bridge the academic, cultural and language gap between wherever you are now in the world and want to be. And we do that by our international study centres. We believe in life-changing learning. As I said, we bring students in from 171 countries to over 1,000 pathway programs every year, something like 12,000 students we send to our universities. So we believe that we are the first and best choice for international students, and we believe ourselves to be global education, leaders in global education, which is a really powerful statement. And then why is that? Because we have within our portfolio, we have the best universities within the UK, which will really give you a head start. I mean, here's some really fantastic facts. So with the 18 study centres that we have throughout the UK, Ireland and Holland, there are over 1,000 UK degrees. 21 of our partners and universities rank in the top in the higher education world university rankings. 8 of our universities are awarded the gold standard in teaching. For those of you who don't know, it's called TEF. It's a really prestigious award that is given to universities that specialise in a certain way of teaching, and we're lucky enough to partner with a good number of those. Within our portfolio, we also have 4 Russell Group universities, which are Sheffield, Leeds, Cardiff and Durham. Russell Groups are a very prestigious group of universities in the UK that actually contribute to the top 10 research output of the UK. And on top of that, 12 of our UK universities partner in the top 50, and we offer more than 1,000 degrees from our pathways. So we like to think that we have something for every student available. So these are our partners. This one is slightly out of date, so do accept my apologies. We no longer work with Keele, but we've actually replaced that with Tside University. And with those partners, you can see some really great names like Kingston, Lancaster, Leeds Beckett, Cardiff, Aberdeen, Durham, Sussex, Surrey. It's worth bearing in mind that with our portfolio, we also offer a combined visa at 5 of our universities. So if you look on this list here, you can see Royal Holloway, Kingston, Huddersfield, obviously Teesside and Liverpool John Moores, and they actually offer a combined visa, which means that you can actually get one visa for the whole of your studies. The IELTS bar is a little bit higher. It's available on International Year 1 and PreMasters, and it means that you can use over 30 alternatives to IELTS to get on your course as long as you're a certain level. Obviously, we'll touch on that a little bit more, and if you've got any questions on ICAS universities, feel free to come back to your agent or to me. As you can see, we've got a fantastic choice of locations throughout the UK, Ireland and Holland. We've got, this is a map that represents the UK, and at the top in Scotland, we've got Aberdeen and Glasgow. And then in the middle of England, and slightly north of England, we have Newcastle, going down towards Lincoln and Leeds Beckett and Huddersfield. So, and then in the south we've got Sussex, Kingston, Coventry. So Coventry actually have a campus in London, which is really well thought of, and it's mainly for business students. It's a very popular location amongst our Southeast Asian students. So to give you an idea of whereabouts our universities are. And the thing I want to touch on is what we do differently. So with Study Group, we aim to get you into the university we want, and we do that via our international study centres. So we offer 3 programs, which I'm going to explain in a little bit more detail, which is our foundation year, our international year 1, and our PreMasters, which enables you then to complete that course and actually get into a top-ranked university within the UK. And how do we do that? So we have an international study centre at each one of the universities. So when you're actually with us, you're very much part of the university. You can actually use all the university facilities. You can make friends all around the world. The difference is that you'll get much more support. So for an international student landing in the UK, we can understand that it might be a bit different. It's a really, really exciting adventure, but we want you to succeed, and we'll give you all the tools available to help you do that. And we do that by giving you specialist English support. You get one-to-one tuition. You're only in small groups, so you don't have to go into any large-style lectures, which again can be very daunting for an international student. We'll give you full university style teaching. We will help you get involved in university life. A lot of our student centres have really vibrant international communities, A lot of the centres are based on university campus, so we will do all we can to help you to progress to your nominated degree, and on top of that you get to make friends from all the way around the world. One of the questions that we often get is how far, what's the progression rate like? So over all of our centres, and that's including really top ranked institutions like Durham, over 90% of our students pass their foundation or IY1 or pre-masters to actually get onto their degree, and then they actually get into a really top university, and obviously then we'll do all we can to help you get in employment, and then hopefully you can look to have a 2-year post-study work visa as well. So there are some really great opportunities in the UK, and we will help you realise those dreams. And we do that with our free products, which I've said are foundation year, international year 1 and pre-masters. So what are those products? So a foundation is a foundation year. It's an academic year of study regarding to the subject that you want and English skills. You can do 3 terms. It's a September or a January start date. All of our pathway providers offer a foundation year, apart from Tside, because this is our first intake with them this year. And then you can get onto a foundation course with an IELTS of 4. So what happens is you do the foundation mark, you get the required pass mark, which could be anywhere from 40 to 70%, depending on the ranking. And then providing you pass that, which a large number of our students do, you would then progress to your 3-year degree. So you get 4 years in the UK, and that then you could go on to do your post-study visa or look to do a pre-masters, whatever particularly suits you. So it's a really popular way for students to get into a top university. The second program is slightly more popular. So this is where we can offer combined visas. Okay, at the universities I mentioned, which are Kingston, Keele, Huddersfield, Liverpool, John Moores and Royal Holloway. And what makes the international year 1 slightly different is it's a 3-year degree. So many of you might not feel that you're slightly above doing a foundation. Then IY1 is the way forward for you. You get all the benefits of doing a 3-year degree, but you actually get a bonus point for getting a year in the International Study Centre, getting to understand English, getting small tuition groups, really getting a grips with England and study. So when you actually progress to your degree, got more chance of passing, and work from the foundation year, you actually go on to year 2 of your degree direct, and then you graduate. So you only have a 3-year degree in total. The ICAS will give you the 1 visa for all of those. The entry terms again are IELTS from 4. They set start dates in September, October, November, January, February. So we've got a really good intakes available. For the ICAS universities, the English IELTS is 5.5 or equivalent, but there are over 30 different routes for English that you can look at. It's a really, really popular degree. And what the thing is about IY1 is that research shows that students are more likely to get a better mark on their degree or 3-year degree rather than going direct if they go to IY1, because we give you the soft landing, we give you the skills to succeed at university, and in some cases it may even actually be cheaper than going direct. So the final pathway we offer is our pre-masters. The pre-masters is a 2 or 3 term option for January, March, April or June. You need a slightly higher IELTS from 5, and with the pre-masters it's a 2 to 3 term. You do get the academic study skills, you get the the small groups as well, you get all the skills you need to succeed on the masters, and then you go to the masters and graduate. So most of our centres offer a pre-masters. Again, if you want more information, go to your agent. There are ICAS options available, and for pre-masters we will also accept entry from a degree taught in English with a NARIC certificate or a Duolingo. So that's all I want to touch on with our programs that are available. Now, the one that I'm going to talk about with you very quickly now, because I am conscious of time, is our Tside option. So you will be very excited about this. Tside is our newest partners. We are offering 2 intakes this year in November. So there is a science option and a business option. For both of these, you will require good grades. For the science option, you will need a pass in mathematics. It can be any level as long as it's a pass. So we're really excited to announce that both of these intakes in November will be ICAS options, which means that you'll need an IELTS of 5.5 or equivalent, and we'll accept over 30 alternatives. The even more exciting news is I'm really pleased to announce that it is only £10,000. Available for up to £1,000 per student, and once you actually progress to Tside University on your 3-year degree, there are scholarships available direct from them, and they are one of the best priced universities. So Tside is based in Middlesbrough. Middlesbrough is a really good town. It's got a really good international community. You're very close to Newcastle, which has a Premiership football team, and Middlesbrough is also known for its football team, which is currently Championship going up to Premiership. We do also have some lovely seaside towns on the coast, which will give you a real traditional taste of what British life is like. Within Middlesbrough, you do have great links to Manchester, London, and for those students that want to enjoy a little bit more of the British Isles. So I'm sure you'll agree it's a really great option. The campus is wonderful. It gets really high student ratings. It's ranked 242nd in the world and 52nd in the UK. So it's quite popular. And obviously, with the cost that is available, we are sure that it's going to appeal to a large number of students. So I'd like to thank you for your time for listening to me. I'll take any questions if you have any.
Thank you so much again for your nice presentation. And as I said, the study group, this name is really famous in Bangladesh. So without any doubt. So when the students just hear, oh, it's a study group program, yeah, we know about it. So it's really nice to have information on our platform for those students, and they are familiar with this program, this sort of foundation. So based on your foundation, we also got some insightful update, and especially your new partner, which is Tside. And now I have some few questions from my side to ask you. So regarding the obvious next question comes when we make an application or the student come to us, the scholarship. So because there are lots of options to choose from for the student within the study group. So could you please touch a little bit about what are the general guaranteed scholarship for all the students, and what are the higher amount scholarship, and who is eligible for those scholarships?
Nessa, I do really apologise, but your connection is really bad, so I'm having great difficulty understanding what you're saying. Can I ask you to put the question in the chat box so that I can read it out to you?
Okay, can you hear me okay now? Okay.
Yeah.
So I think he's hearing now.
Yeah. Scholarship.
Hang on 2 seconds. Do you want to try talking again, Nessa?
Yes, you are audible now. I think I can hear you, so you can talk to the program directly.
Yeah, just the six. So the signal is really bad. So scholarship is fantastic.
Yeah.
So with scholarship, it will be dependent on what centre you look at. Generally, we will try and offer scholarships wherever we can. For the higher ranked, slightly more expensive universities, scholarships of up to 4,000 to 5,000 are available. For universities like Tside, where the fees are already low, we will offer £1,000. Many of our partners offer slightly higher. Will offer scholarships once you progress to university, for you to discuss with them. For the majority of our programs, we will generally look at scholarships between £2,000 and £3,000. If you require more than that, we will try and accommodate where we can, but we would ask you for an alternative offer or a proof of your academic caliber. But generally, if you need scholarships, we will do our best to accommodate you to get you into one of our universities.
Okay, thank you. Regarding the English requirement, obviously you Okay. Sorry for the network issue. I'm typing.
Okay, so again, I can't. Unfortunately, the sound is letting us down, or the connection is letting us down, which is thus alas modern technology. So I'm going to guess that your question is around English requirements and IELTS. So I'm going to try and explain this as quickly. Yeah, I'll explain this as quickly as I can. So for any foundation or international year 1 courses, we require what's called a CELT, which is a secure English language test, and it's either via Pearson, Trinity Language Cert, or IELTS. Okay, and you can get on a foundation course or an IY1 course with an IELTS from 4 to 5. You can use alternatives like Duolingo and IELTS Indicator, but for foundation and IY1, that would only allow you an online start. So when you come to the UK, you will require a CELT for a foundation or an IY1 course. Then it gets a little bit more interesting. So once you start doing an ICAS course, which is a 3-year international year 1 course with the combined visa, or a pre-masters, then we can accept alternatives for face-to-face study. So there are over 30 alternatives for ICAS. So you can use academic IELTS. For Indian students, you can use a HSC level 12 pass at 60% as an English waiver. We will accept Duolingo, but the score has to be 95 in all aspects. And we will look at IELTS Indicator as well. So there are a broad range of English tests that we will look at to accommodate you. But for ICAS courses, it's really imperative that you are at that 5.5 level in all subjects. The reason for that is that the IY1 courses are a little bit tough. For pre-masters, we will also accept Duolingo, again at 95 levels. So this is for any pre-masters, not just ICAS, at 95. And we will also accept a NARIC certificate or a certified degree taught in English, a NARIC certified degree taught in English as an English waiver for pre-masters. So we do feel that we've got a really good broad range of options that allow you to get onto our courses. So I can see NASA's put in another question here, which is the lowest GPA for foundation student and the lowest GPA for year 1 students. So it's a tough one to ask without going through every grade that we have for every every university. We will try and accommodate any student. So we've taken on students with GPA of 2. Generally, if you're going to go for IY1, you're going to need a GPA of around 2.75. However, we're fortunate enough that with the product providers and halfway products that we will get an academic to look at your case, and we'll make a decision on whether or not we can offer you a place. But we will, we do try and welcome applications from all walks of life and students with maybe not the best grades. Obviously, though, to meet your expectations, if you've got a really low GPA, maybe 1 or 1.5, it might be that we're not going to be able to accommodate you, but we will generally try where we can. So we would welcome, if you discuss, by all means, if you don't feel your GPA is quite at that level, have that discussion with IG Education, and they'll come to me and we'll have a look and see if we can get you on board. 3-year degree for pre-masters from Bangladesh. Yeah, generally what we ask for is a recognised first degree in order for you to come to a pre-masters. So again, we've been known to accept pre-masters for students with a HND or not a degree. So there are again grey areas that we can look to. Level alims and daggers as well. So we will look at native qualifications, and as long as we feel that you're academically able and got a good mark on the grade that you've got and can provide a good statement of purpose and CV, then again that would be something that we would look at for pre-masters. It might be that we feel sometimes you're not at the level for pre-masters, so we may offer you an IY1 or a different course, but generally the entry requirement for all of our universities are recognised first degree or equivalent. Any other questions, guys?
Yeah.
Nasib, I think he's hearing now. You can
general accommodation. That's a tough one. So it'll be dependent upon the university and time. I mean, a lot of the students that have come to us look at private accommodation. So again, that will vary from town to town. So for Tside University, you could look to get a really good room between maybe £300 and £600 a month. For university-based accommodation, do please get in touch with your agent about that. We will provide that on your offer letter, and you will of course have that decision to decide whether or not you want it. But I don't have those figures on me right now. It will vary vastly from university to university.
Okay, Dan, can you hear me okay now?
Yeah, I can. Yeah, it's got much better now, sir.
Okay. Okay, thank you. Just one point, I think it is important for all the students and applicable for all students regarding the personal statement. So what exact point you are looking for the student to write in their personal statement?
Okay, so I think what would be a really good way of doing this is I might actually show you my own personal CV, which will give you an idea of what you're actually looking for. So I'm going to, if you give me 2 seconds, I'm going to upload my own personal CV. So if you can bear with me 2 ticks while that's loading, I'm just going to cut that out. So tell me. So first of all, I think what you want as a student is to show that you are genuinely interested in study. So first of all, for any students that have a, we do understand some of you might have a gap in study. You might not be quite at that level. We want to really understand who you are as a student. That allows you to allows us to make a decision on your academic capability. So look. Regarding a CV, this is what we would expect to look at. You can see that I've put a personal profile on here, which is all about me and who I do in my job. You can see that I've listed down what my key skills are. And more importantly, is that for each of one of the jobs that I've done, so you can see I started with Jack Study Group a long time ago now, and I have a full list of my skills that I do within my job role. I have my previous employment again listed, and you notice that there are no gaps between the date I finished my company and the time I started my new one. If I actually go back 9 years ago, I took a sabbatical for 5 months, and I made sure that was on my CV as well. And this was actually caring for a family member. So these are the kind of things that I'm purely showing you this to give you an idea of what an academic will look at. And with your statement of purpose, what we want to see is that you've really researched our university. So if you're looking at, say, for example, Tside, the kind of questions that we would want to understand, and so we know that you've researched, is a little bit about Tside University, who they are, what the products, what courses they're well known for, what the town of Middlesbrough is like, what partnerships that Tside have with local universities. And we also want you to want to study at Tside and ultimately what you want to achieve. I mean, we will help you with all of that. We have a process in place called Career Ahead. It's something where we get you interested in thinking about what you're going to do after university. We talk a lot about interviews and job interviews and CV writing. So these are all things that we can help you with when you're with us. But before you come to us, when you're writing your statement of purpose, really try and embellish it and find out as much as you can about the universities that you're interested in studying. And I think, with that kind of, with that kind of information and a really strong CV, it really does help for students that maybe have gaps in study or are not quite at the required academic level. We can make a decision based on those things that you've sent us.
Yeah, fantastic. Nice explanation. So regarding, this is one of the questions student we have to work with the student that at the initial stage they are not in a position to know that how should they start, where should I start, and what should I write. So we guide them based on, I think, what exactly you said. We guide also accordingly. So obviously, from your presentation, that's also solidify that we are guiding them in a correct way. So regarding the center they are coming from, so sometimes the student asks, so if I come for foundation and I complete the course in, for example, I came to Huddersfield, London, once I complete my foundation, can I move to Kingston, London for the international year one?
I couldn't quite hear that. Again, the connection was quite bad. I will try and I guess it was about foundation and IY1. So generally at Huddersfield, a student, in order to get onto their 3-year degree for foundation, they would be required to get a pass mark between 40 and 50%. Once they've achieved that mark in their foundation year, they would then progress to their 3-year degree at Huddersfield. With international year one, it's a combined visa. The pass mark will be a little bit higher, again 40 to 50%, and a student would be required to get that mark, and then they would go on to year 2 of their degree. But was that your question?
I send you text. Let's check.
Right, yeah, okay. Unfortunately not, and the reason for that is that you know, whilst we will always try and accommodate our students, we have a really large portfolio. Our partnerships with our university partners are also very important. So generally, if a student, an international student, comes to one of our international study centres and wants to, say, for example, go to Huddersfield, then we would expect them to do their degree at Huddersfield. We wouldn't look to change that to a different university partner, if that makes sense. I would think we feel that we have, you know, the right amount of universities within our portfolio for a student to make a decision. Every now and again, you know, something goes really, really wrong, which is very, very rare, and we might try and accommodate the student a different option. But we would expect that if you've come to Huddersfield, that we would want you to study or continue studying at Huddersfield. And you know, unless it was a dire situation, we wouldn't look at changing that. There are options available if you want an open-ended foundation. So we have our own colleges called Bellaby's, which offer A-levels, GCSEs, and international year one and foundation. So a Bellaby's pass, a foundation pass, is accepted at 85 universities in the UK. It's one of the highest ranked private schools within the UK. The campus is in Brighton. It's a really lovely student centre. I go in there quite often. There's room for over 800 students that lodge in. It's a vibrant international college. And with the foundation year, you get conditional progression to at least 7 universities, including Bristol and what's the one in North London? In London, I can't remember it. Westminster and Bath. So there are, you know, there are really good progressions available. And so if you don't know where you want to go from your foundation degree, we would recommend that you study at Bellaby's and do a foundation there, because you would have a really good opportunity to go to one of 85 different universities. We even get students into Oxford and Cambridge occasionally. Any other questions, guys? And no, that's not something that we get involved with. Unfortunately, we will give you scholarships on your study where we can. Obviously, the costs of living in the UK, and you will be able to work part-time for 20 hours as well, but it's not something that we can help you with on the costs. Application for deadline for September. Generally, we haven't been given the last arrival dates as yet. We would expect, if the start date is the 2nd of September, for example, we would want you to make an application by around mid-July. There will be last arrival dates and exceptions, but obviously the quicker, we are coming into peak season now, so the quicker that you can get your application to us, the easier it will be. But we will communicate you when it gets closer to the time what the last arrival dates are. At the moment, I would say take a common sense approach. It's getting to that time of year where it's going to be really, really, really busy. So the quicker your application comes to us, the quicker we can process it and get you an offer.
Okay. Thank you so much. I think Dan can hear me now, I think.
Indeed. Nice to hear.
Yeah, sorry for the connection issue. So just a quick question to Shodav. If you have any quick question, although we are having connection difficulties. So if you have a quick question, let's give a try to ask again, and then we will wrap up the session.
Okay. Thank you so much, Dan, to joining with us. I have a few more questions to add with this.
Yeah, feel free.
So, can you hear me well? Hi, Dan.
Oh, your signal. Sorry, buddy, your signal again is very bad. Do you want to type it in the box?
Okay, so Nasir, I think you should continue with if you have some questions regarding study gap, pre-sessional English course, and like that type of payment deadline and the pre-cast interview, like that type of question you can ask him or type him.
Yeah. So basically, to answer that is we do offer English language courses and English language preparation courses for those students that don't meet IELTS requirements. So for foundation, if your IELTS is at 4, generally we would try and offer you a term of English language preparation. For ICAS courses, which are international year 1 at 5.5, so it's a higher requirement. We will offer them. Some of our ICAS partners don't offer a pre-sessional English, so Huddersfield won't offer one. Some of them may require you to do it online. So we would urge you to, try and make sure you're at the right level if you're applying for international year 1. But we do offer pre-sessional English courses, and we'll often give you those on offer when you your application. So the process is pretty pretty straightforward. Obviously before you pay, if you are looking for a scholarship, it's really important that you ask for scholarships before you confirm. So I can see NASA's asked a question about study gap. Generally, we like to see no more than 2 years study gap. But as I showed you earlier on my CV and statement of purpose, we will accept longer, but make sure that those two things are thoroughly dated and signed, and that you've given a really good account of yourself of what you've been doing during that time. It will really help us look at your application from an academic point of view. So just to touch on what your Shudab asked about fees, so that the pre-CAS interview and so off, it is quite an easy process. So when you've come to us and we've got an unconditional offer, we'll ask you to pay £1,235, which is your deposit that you get back at the end of the course, and our administration fee. In order for us to issue CAS, we ask that you pay £6,000 of tuition fee. We will then do a pre-CAS interview with you to assess your suitability for study group, and to make sure that you are a genuine student, and also to make sure we get you through the UK VI interview. As a company, we have a really low visa refusal rate, so we will do a pre-CAS interview with you to help you get to that level. It's not something to be scared about. It's there to help you guys get your visa and come to the UK. So we do ask that you do your research when it comes to that, so that we can help you get through it. Once you've done your pre-CAS interview, and we're all set to go, so we'll then do a financial document check to make sure that your funds are genuine. Providing all that goes ahead, we'll then send you a CAS form. You need to sign that, and then we'll issue you your CAS. Generally, ICAS courses can take a bit longer because the university actually issues the CAS, not study group. For all of our foundation courses, we will issue the CAS. For just a quick note, as I mentioned Tside earlier on, if you're looking at Tside for November, they have a fantastic turnaround on CAS. So they will issue CAS within 5 days of you meeting all the requirements. So your agent will assist you on all those different processes. We would ask you at times to have a little bit of patience. Please bear in mind that September and October are incredibly busy times, and we do want to get you your CAS as soon as possible, but sometimes it can take a little bit longer. But do feel free to reach out to your agents in that scenario.
Thank you, Dan. I think the line is clear now. So just one on-screen question from the student. I think it's worth to share.
Yeah, so I can see that. So Sussex is one of my favourite, favourites, and I'm incredibly biased. Who are a Premier League team, but a pre-masters entry is a recognised degree within within the subject that you're looking to study, and as long as you've got a first degree or equivalent, then Sussex will generally accept you. Now again, there are slightly grey areas, so we will look at things like LMs if you've got high level or higher national diploma, as long as we can see that you've got academic credibility, then, and you've got nearly the right level in some cases, we will try and get you in. But what they will ask for on the outset is a recognised first degree. But what I'm trying to say is that there are alternatives that we can consider.
Okay, the student who have commented in our chat box, I can see those are common questions, so I think it is not worth it to waste against time. So you can see our contact details in the screen. So please feel free to email us or call us. Yes, Shadab, I can hear you. I think you want to say something.
If Dan hear me, I have some more questions to ask him, actually.
Fire away.
Okay, is it required to have UKV IELTS to apply for all of your centers for PreMasters and foundations?
No. This is what I said earlier on. So for foundation and international year 1, we require a UKVI CELT, which is a secure English language test. So you can choose Pearson, Trinity, Language Cert, or IELTS. So Pearson is PTE, which you may be more familiar with. Okay, so that is only for foundation and IY1. For ICAS IY1, we will accept over 30 alternatives, including IELTS Indicator and Duolingo. It has to be a 95 in all aspects. And for pre-masters, any pre-masters, including ICAS, we will also accept Duolingo at 95 and a degree taught in English that is ECTIS certified. Of course, ECTIS used to be known as NARIC, which you'll be more familiar with. It's recently changed its name. So if you do a Google search for a NARIC certified degree, that will actually allow you to get on any pre-masters within study group.
Okay. As far as I know that Aberdeen University is accepting MY from Bangladesh. Do you accept MY for pre-masters course in Aberdeen University?
For NY, what do you mean by that?
Medium of instructions.
As long as it is ECTIS certified. So we won't accept a standard medium of instruction. What a NARIC certification is, or an ECTIS certification, is proof that that the degree has been taught in English. So a medium of English isn't acceptable. We would ask that it was NARIC or ECTIS certified, which is really easy to do.
Yeah.
Okay. Is there any possibility for our students who have UKV IELTS 5 or below to apply for pre-masters courses? It could be 3 pre-masters.
Depending on what they've got, yes, there is. I mean, a lot of our ICAS pre-masters are very much 5.5 in all aspects. Obviously, pre-masters is a higher level of study. It's a graduate study level, so the English requirements are a little bit higher. But we do offer, again, English for pre-masters courses. We'll assess it, and every one of our courses has a slightly different English requirement. Unfortunately, I don't have a computer of a brain, so I can't go through them all with you. But some of them will have a grade, maybe that they might need 6 overall, but they might accept in no lower than 5. So if you've got like overall 5.5, it might be potentially possible to accept it. So it will vary from university to university. If you have a question on our IELTS requirement for pre-masters, just get in touch with your agent with what the qualification you have, and I will tell you whether or not it's acceptable.
Okay, thank you.
Or hang on, alternative to that, if you actually go, all of our partner websites have an ISC website. So we run the International Study Centre, which is what ISC stands for. So if you choose any one of our partners like Tside and you use the letters ISC, you'll be able to do a Google search for our partners, and they will tell you what the IELTS requirement is for each one of those universities. And obviously, again, if you have questions on that, go to the kind chaps at IG Education, and they will be able to tell you help you along with that inquiry.
Okay. Okay. As I know that you do run some direct postgraduate course at Huddersfield University, London. So, so for them, it should be a student should have a relevant degree for bachelors. What do you think? It should be a relevant degree in bachelors to apply for master's degree.
Yeah, so it's a slightly different process. We don't have the same leeway that we can offer you on our pre-masters. The IELTS is religiously at 6 in every aspect, and you would be required to have a recognised first degree in order to progress to that. Again, just to give you a heads up, there are scholarships available. So if you want scholarships, you're interested in Huddersfield, London, we will try and help you financially. I can see that there is a question on the comments actually about costs. With all of our courses, undergraduate and pre-masters, you can work up to 20 hours during that time and subsidise your income.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Actually, this was from my side. Nasir Bhai, you should continue with that.
Yes. Yeah. So it's nice to. It's nice to see that everything is working fine. So although we are end of our session, so dear students, that at the end, we'd like to let you know that IC Education here, we are British Council accredited organization. That means when you come to us, the advice you get from the very beginning to the end, we maintain the quality, we maintain the due diligence procedure, we check everything, and then finally we forward application to the center. That means the turnaround time gets low and you are getting professional service. So our contact details in the screen, we are just one call or appointment away from you. So our Bangladesh office and UK office is open. So you can contact us for appointment and feel free to visit us with your documents for your admission or any question you have. So we are open, and obviously we are always available through online. So finally, I'd like to especially thank Dan for his time today and giving us a nice presentation, and he was very patient to answer all of our questions, even though the technical difficulty we faced in the middle. And yeah, so thank you very much. Please share with your friends and family, whoever needs it, and feel free to contact us. And finally, thank you, Shurab, for giving us time, and thank you, Dan, again. We really appreciate your time today, and we will see you in next time.
Lovely. Take care, everyone. Look after yourselves.
Okay.
I'm sure we'll speak soon. Cheers. Bye now. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Okay, bye-bye.